Hey, what's up everybody? Benji, Bruce here, and in this episode we are going to go over an email that I sent out to my list. And I sent this out to the list. Well, before I sent it out, I was kind of wondering, should I send it out? Because sometimes I tend to write stuff where it tends to be kind of intense. And even though I felt like this was less intense than some of the stuff I normally send out, I still felt like, man, am I being too truthful here? Am I being too honest here? Because I know sometimes when you're honest with people, they tend to get offended. They're like, oh my goodness, oh, you're the worst person in the world. And so I thought to myself, should I really send this out? But when I sent it out, a lot of people, they replied back, like a lot of people, and they were like, dude, this is an amazing email. Thank you so much. And I thought like, yeah, I know. And well, no, so I thought like, well, let me just create an episode on this. And so let me read out the email first. So the email said this. It said, the first time I hit $1,000 a month, I thought it was amazing. Then $10,000 a month, then $25,000 a month, then $90,000 a month, etc. I looked at the $90,000 that month and I thought, damn, for the longest time, I struggled to make that in a year and I just did it in a month. So what changed? Like, what was the mindset that changed inside of me that allowed it to happen? Honestly, like what changed? What was the mindset? And honestly, nothing. I was always a badass. Success doesn't happen overnight. You iterate your way to it. You keep changing and adjusting until you finally get it one day. But I want to give you 4 nuggets that I found useful over time. Nugget number 1, don't trust your thoughts just because they came from you. Throughout my time marketing myself, aka my entire life, because I've never had a job, I learned that you can't trust your own thoughts in the beginning when you're not making money. The reason is because you've been brainwashed by culture. The thoughts in your head are the average people thoughts that you grew up with, and you've heard those thoughts so often that you believe them to be you. They're not. They're a collection of other people who don't have the results that you want. So just because your thoughts come from you, it doesn't make them any more true. When you're building your business, you need to ignore your initial thoughts. You need to pay close attention to thoughts that are useful, not thoughts that you believe. Nugget number 2. You wait and wait and wait. You eat doo-doo for years. Then you finally say, hell yeah. What's next? The results that you want are going to take longer than you thought, a lot longer than you thought. So you have to eat doo-doo for years. People will see you as a scrub because you are one. People will talk down to you because you really aren't on their level. And you have to sit there and you have to take it because they're right. Then, after all the years, you'll look up one day and you'll say, yeah, that's right, Nugget number 3, people will tell you that you're emailing too much. Ignore them. When I started prospecting for events, I followed up like crazy. So if I contacted an event and they ignored me, I just kept emailing them saying, hey, would you please hire me? And I just kept emailing them. Several people got mad and they condemned me to hell, but several others hired me for $25,000 gigs. So which one do you think I listened to? And the same thing happened when I started building an email list. I made a decision to email every single day. And several people would reply with nasty emails. People kept saying like, damn man, you email too much. Take me off your effing list, you piece of sh. And those were the nice emails that I got. But my bank account, it just kept growing. So which one do you think I listened to? Nugget number 4, lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. The entire time you're building your business, people will have their say. People will tell you to prove yourself. And like a dummy, I tried to do it in the beginning. I remember a guy who said, prove to me that you booked a $10,000 gig. Show me the check. And I did it like a dummy, but he thought it was photoshopped. A different guy once asked me to prove to him how much I sold online, how much I made online. I did it. I proved to him, and he still thought I was lying. Eventually, I realized that these people, they aren't buyers. They're time wasters. They will never buy anything or believe anything that I say. You're a lion, they're sheep. Ignore them because you have nothing to prove to them. Listen very closely. You have the ability to impact the world by getting the word out about what you do. Keep your eyes on the prize. And that was the end of the email that I sent out. And I want to kind of go into those four just a little bit more. But that was the basic email that I sent out. And the first one that I talked about, where I said, don't trust your thoughts just because they came from you. Here's the thing, just because you believe something, it doesn't mean it's true. And this is where a lot of people, they tend to go wrong. They think, oh, just because I believe it, it's true. And in the beginning, you can't believe your thoughts. I mean, you don't know what it takes yet, especially like if you want to make $1 million, you don't know what it takes yet. You have a plan. You come up with a plan. 99% of the time, those activities in your plan, if you created the activities, 99% of the time, most of those activities are useless. They're not going to make you any money. Those are the wrong activities that you need to be engaging in, but you're still engaging in those activities because you're coming from the state of mind of here's what I believe is going to make me money. Not from the state of mind of here's what actually made me money. And so in the beginning, you can't trust your own thoughts. I mean, little things like you don't know how long it's going to take you to actually to produce the results that you want to produce. However long you think it's going to take you, times that by 10. I mean, I guarantee it's going to take you longer than you actually think. And so you can't predict any of this because you've never done it before. So you can't trust your own thoughts. And this is with everything, even with things where when people say things like, oh, I don't know if I'm the person to do it though. I mean, there's all these people, they can do it, but not me. Ignore that. You ignore that. You can't trust your own thoughts in the beginning. You just do it. You just keep going. You just keep pushing ahead. And so there's things like self-doubt. And this, I mentioned this earlier where I said, even like when I sent this email, right? I said to myself, should I actually send this email? This might be a little too harsh on some people. And I've done that several times where I would say like, I don't know if I should send this email, but I did it anyways. I just say, you know what, forget it. I'll just send it anyways. I don't care. And so what happens is these are little things that happen over time. And so you can't trust your own thoughts because you want to get to a place where you don't know what thoughts you should have. Like you don't know what thoughts you should be thinking. And so you can't assume here are the thoughts that I need to have to get there. This is why one of the reasons why I hate it when someone says, here's how millionaires think. And it's completely wrong because number one, everyone thinks differently, whether they're millionaire, billionaire, no matter what, everyone thinks differently. And number two, you don't know what thoughts you need to think to be a millionaire. And so you can't trust the thoughts that you currently have because it's not right. Okay. It's not what's going to make you the money. And I mean, these are little things like how I said, most of the thoughts that you have are thoughts from other people. When people talk about money, people tend to say things, and I hear this all the time from people who never make any money. They say, you know what, it's not about the money. I just want to change the world. It's not about the money. I say, listen, business is all about the money, 100% about the money. What are you talking about? It's not about the money. Stop living in this fantasy land. Business is 100% about the money. Without money, you can't do anything. And I guarantee you, all these people who keep saying it's not about the money, oh, it's not about the money, why don't they give away their stuff for free then? You're saying it's not about the money, you want to change the world, give away your stuff for free. Stop talking about it's not about the money when you know damn well it's all about the money. You know damn well you're very aware of what your revenue is in your business. So these people who keep saying it's not about the money, they're lying to your ass. And the people who are making a lot of money, you want to pay attention to what they do, not what they say. And so that it's little things like that you have to pay attention to when you're growing your business, to where you can't trust your own thoughts. And even with other people, you can't trust what they say. You pay attention to what they do. The second one, where I said you wait and wait and wait and you eat doo-doo forever, then you finally say, hell yeah. That was the second one. Basically, what happened here is that when I would try to build my business, I was wondering, like, why aren't these people why aren't they kind of doing partnerships with me and things like that? And honestly, it's because you're not on their level. And this is something that people won't admit to you. They'll tell you like, yeah, you need to go partner with people, you need to network and all that, but you can only network so far. If you're not even doing $1 million in sales yet, you're not going to be able to network with someone who's doing 50 million. It's not even fair. Like, it's not fair to them. They've put in all this work, all these years to build up to 50 million or however much. Put in all these years, all these sleepless nights, all these problems to build their business, and you're some new guy saying, hey, let's partner up. Hey, let's do this. I want to be on your level. They're going to say, what are you talking about? Hell no. And so there was only one guy who ever admitted this to me, actually. And this is a guy, he was He's a CEO. He makes a lot of money. I mean, he was like up in like 80 million or something. And I asked him because in his presentation, he talked a lot about partnerships. Like, oh, you guys want to partner with people, do these JVs and all that. And I said like, oh man, here we go. Another guy who talks about partnerships, and he's not willing to admit that no one will be able to partner with him unless you're on his level. And so one day I talked to him and I said like, hey man, so how does someone partner with you? And he's like, well, you can't. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, unless you're on my level, you can't partner with me. And I was like, man, finally someone's ready to tell the truth. And so basically what happens is you wait and wait and wait for years, and you eat doo-doo for years, meaning you suck it up. You take it. Like people who don't want to do business with you, you just suck it up. People who talk down to you, you suck it up. You don't say anything about it. You're like, okay, they're talking down to me because I'm really not on their level. And so you just suck it up. And then eventually, when you get there, you're like, yes, I'm there. And so that's kind of what happens. You push through the pain until you figure it out. You keep pushing until you get there. It doesn't matter how you feel. You just keep pushing until you get there. And that's how it actually works. You iterate your way to success. The third one that I talk about is that people will tell you that you're emailing too much and you want to ignore them, right? And so this happened to me. This is like purely tactical, by the way. The other ones are like strategy. This is like purely tactical. This happened to me in both businesses because first I built up the entertainment business, and I did that through prospecting. I would just send out emails, asking like, hey, do you want to hire me as an entertainer for your business? So I did that nonstop. And then when I built up the email list, oh man, I just burped. Then when I built up the email list, people would say like, dude, you're emailing too much, because what I saw a company that was doing like a lot of money. They were definitely doing 8 figures in sales. And I saw them emailing every single day. And I thought to myself like, damn, these guys email a lot. What the heck? But I say, you know what? They make a lot of freaking money. So they must be doing something right. And so I started to email every single day. And what I noticed is that when I emailed every day, people would say like, dude, you're emailing way too much. What the hell? Take me off your list. But I looked at my bank account and I said, wow, the bank account just keeps increasing. So I'm just going to keep emailing. And the same thing happened with the prospecting for the events. When I tried to get hired for the events, I would email people in terms of prospecting to get the gigs. And sometimes people would say like, dude, you're following up way too much. This is crazy. No, we're not interested. We don't want to hire you as an entertainer for our events. We're not interested. Maybe we were, but you've been emailing too damn much. We're not interested anymore. And so at first I was thinking like, damn it, I just messed it up. Damn it. But what happened was a couple times people would say, yes, we're interested. Here's $15,000. Yes, we're interested. Here's $20,000. And then which one do you think I paid attention to more? The guy who's like, no, we're not interested, or the guy who's like, yes, we're interested. Here's 20 grand. So obviously I just paid attention to these people. And that's what allowed me to get on the stages, because I ignored all these people who kept saying, dude, you're doing way too much. I just paid attention to the end result. And so that's what's going to happen. It's easy to say, but it's hard to actually do. And I guarantee when this happens to you, when people start saying like, dude, you're doing way too much, like, oh, we're not going to do business with you because you're doing too much, you're sending us too many emails, your initial reaction is going to be like, damn, maybe I should scale it back a little bit. But do not do it. Increase it, 10x it, increase it like crazy. The last one where I said lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. That's a quote. I don't remember who said the quote. I remember seeing it on Game of Thrones though. But lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. And basically, you want to take other people's opinions like with a grain of salt, because people would send me emails. So I would send out an email. I send out like a lot of really sarcastic emails because I tend to be sarcastic with friends. So I was like, well, let me be sarcastic with the emails too. So I would send out some sarcastic emails, and some people, they'd respond saying like, dude, you're not funny. Oh, it's not funny. Take me off your list. That's not funny. You're arrogant and all that. And so I would just click unsubscribe or whatever. And basically, I mean, they got their opinion. So what? But once again, I saw the results. And so it's like the people who didn't believe me in terms of the check, when the guy was like, well, let me see your $10,000 check, buddy. And so I sent him the picture. He was like, that must have been Photoshop. Give me the number to the CEO of that company. I was like, dude, this is like a Fortune 500 company. I'm not giving you their number. And so it was things like that to where I say, you know what? what the heck do I have to prove to these people? Like, they're not going to buy any products. They're not going to pay me $20,000 for an event. Why am I even talking to this person? Why am I even typing a single word back to this person? I mean, it's like lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. Why am I spending any time with this person at all? And so you have to realize where you need to be spending your time with when there's a lost cause. And I realize this with the check and everything. There's this quote, I forgot who said it, but it says it was something like I'm trying to think in terms of what the quote said. It said, for those who believe, no explanation is necessary. For those who don't, none will suffice. And so what happens is, for those people who believe you, you don't really need to keep proving yourself. For those who don't believe you, no matter how much you prove yourself, they still won't believe you. And so once I realized this, I said, you know what, forget it. I'm going to completely ignore these people. I'm going to spend my time on these money-making activities. I'm going to spend my time producing the end result that I want to produce. And so that's the basics of that. So those are the 4 things I sent out in the email. And one of the things that I noticed when it comes to just building up your business is that in the beginning, there's going to be a lot of struggle, like a gang load of struggle, and you just have to ignore it. You just keep pushing through. People keep saying this whole thing of only do what you love. It's not possible. It is not possible to only do what you love. You are going to have to do things you hate. Absolutely. Like, people are going to talk down to you. People are going to think you're a scrub because you actually are in the beginning. And you have to keep doing it. You have to keep pushing through no matter what. You literally iterate your way to success. You iterate your way to the end goal in mind.